respond to the chat box that I just sent me. Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm so glad you showed up, and I can assure you this is going to be one of the most important decisions you have made this year. So, good evening from wherever you are watching from. Please, if you are watching from Facebook, from YouTube, from anywhere, just do well to drop your name in the comment section and you know where you are watching from, also your name and where you are watching from. Yes, we'll be expecting to see that in the comment section. All right, so while we proceed, let me ask you, have you wondered why some business are thriving while others are struggling to get customers? And even when they eventually get the customers, they still struggle to eventually keep those customers. Exactly. Tonight, we are going to break that cycle. We are going to be showing you in this session about winning customers and also keeping them. My name is Daniel Ajayi, and I am the creative director of Elite DanBaba Global Limited. All right, so if you have been following this webinar, you would remember that there is actually a session we did last month, which we discussed about business and business legalities. And this is just a continuation of that webinar. Just like I said, my name is Daniel Ajayi, and I am a visionary entrepreneur and the founder of LS DanBaba Global Limited, a fast rising digital agency transforming how business shows up online. When I began my journey, it has been a journey of, kind of trying to make everything balanced, seeing business owners online, not being visible, not showing well online. And then I discovered that I can actually fill in into that gap. Yes. And that is why I created LH Global Limited to help business owners, founders to, become visible online. Yeah. All right. Please, a moment, please. All right. So, all right. Sorry for that short break. Just like I said, I'm not going to be the only one in this webinar today. There is a guest, and that is Mr. Ibe Kelechi. And when it is time, he would be brought up on stage. So, very quickly, let's look at why you are losing customers. Let's be honest, customers are harder to please than ever before. And here are common reasons why business owners, founders, entrepreneurs, why they lose customers. Number one, there is no clear value proposition. People can't quickly say why you are better than any other person. They are not seeing that value in your business, why they should come and patronize you, why they should give you their hand-earned money for you to run a job for them. That is because you have no clear value proposition about your business or about your company. And then there's another one, which is poor customer experience. Poor customer experience. If it's not easy and pleasant, they leave. So if you are kind of quick to close a deal, but you don't know how to retain those clients, or you don't know how to converse with them, they eventually just say they lack poor customer experience. And there are a lot of things that can make a customer, finalize that you have a poor customer experience. Yes, we'll be looking at that also in the training. And there's this third reason, which is very particular to every brand owner, and that is inconsistent branding or marketing. No one wants confusion. People want trust. People need brands they can trust. People want to work with companies they can trust. Imagine a business owner who has branded up a business saying, I am branding up, I am branding up. You have branded up for up to 3 times in 3 months. People are seeing you, not being, not being, what's the word now? You are not being okay. You are not sure of what you are selling. You are not sure of what you want to bring out. That is why you can say you have kept on branding up, branding up, branding up for the whole of 3 months. So there is an issue in your business, inconsistent branding or marketing. Remember the three things I said: no clear value proposition, which means that people can't really say this is why they want to patronize you. People can't say this is what you are selling. People can't quickly say why you are better than somebody else. And also poor customer experience. Every customer should be treated well, should be treated well. Yeah, should be treated well and wisely. So you should be able to know that keeping a customer, not just winning them, because you can win a customer in several ways. But keeping them still involves you knowing how to communicate with your client. Then the third one I mentioned is inconsistent branding or marketing. And when I talk about marketing, inconsistent marketing is you showing up today, and the next time somebody who is interested in your product, the next time they are seeing you is after 2 months again. That means you posted today. The next time they are seeing your post is after 2 months. These are errors on the part of business owners, founders, and entrepreneurs. Yes, if a customer visits your page today, will they understand what you are selling within 5 seconds? This is what I always tell most of my clients, most of our customers. When people enter into your page, into your WhatsApp profile, into your Instagram profile, can they be convinced of what you are doing once they've scrolled up to 3 to 5 posts? If somebody is going through your page and they can't see what you're actually into, the value you offer within 5 seconds after entering your page, then you're already missing it as a business owner. All right. To win customers in a competitive market, you must speak directly to a specific audience. I used to say this also to our clients. You can't satisfy everybody. You can't satisfy every consumers. You need to know your audience. You need to speak directly to a specific audience. Know those you want to sell to. We said this during the first webinar, how to identify your target audience. So if you missed that part on how to identify who your target audience should be based on the kind of business you run, you need to catch up with the last webinar video we posted. It's still on our YouTube and also on our Facebook page. Right. So I have discovered these errors from business owners, and these are the things we discussed in the last webinar we did last month. And this is just a continuation. So speak for you to win customers in a competitive market, you must speak directly to a specific audience. Know your audience. Then secondly, show them how you solve their problem. Let your product not just be about they should come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. Let them see what they want to buy. Let them see how it solves their problem. In marketing, we always say sometimes about hard copy, hard copy content, what you are selling. Let it show people how it solves their problem. If you try that way, you will see that the sales you are going to record that month is going to be more than what you have been selling. Of course, you might have been posting your product and people have just been buying it because they just need it to work for them. But it becomes more beautiful and you make more sales when people know how your product actually solves their problem. Yeah, then another point is use social media proofs. Nobody buys from who they don't trust. And one of the ways you build trust is posting regularly, sharing testimonies. If you don't have testimonials, share results or share reviews. When you sell a product as a business owner, as a tech entrepreneur, be fast to get reviews from people you have sold a particular product to, because that review is going to help you, it's going to help somebody else to want to patronize you. People love proofs. And I do tell people when they come to us to come and run some marketing campaigns for them, we ask them, do you have reviews? Do you have testimonials? Do you have social proof that we can also use as an hard copy? Let's sell it also. People will be interested. They know that actually this person know what he or she is doing. For an example, if you're a fashion designer, instead of saying I sew clothes, I'm talking about how to speak to a different audience, how to speak to a specific audience, how to show that your problem your product solves their problem, and also how to use social proofs. I'm trying to give us an example now, a practical example. If you're a fashion designer, instead of saying I sew clothes, you can say I help women look beautiful and elegant with custom made gowns for special occasions. Now, there's a difference between I am a fashion designer and you saying I help Nigerian women look elegant and confident with custom made gowns for special occasions. If somebody is saying I'm a fashion designer and you're also using the second illustration I made, it has made you look more professional. And I think I'm getting too fast. All right. It makes you look more professional rather than saying I sew clothes. Of course, anybody sews clothes. We are able to now discuss how that product solves their problem. You're already winning that customer. You're already in the mind of that customer. Ask yourself, who is your target customer? Can you describe them in one sentence? That is what allows you to have a clear value proposition. In my last webinar, you get to know how I always link all of my thoughts together. So if I'm talking about how to win a customer, I'm still going to help you connect it to why you are losing that customer in the first place. All right, so you need to define who is your target customer. So when you know your target customer, that is when you know how to speak to them, how you speak directly to that audience, how you can create an ask copy that shows that your product solves their problem. And let's look at another thing. Winning is one thing. Winning the customer is actually one thing. But the real business growth comes from keeping that customers and turning them into loyal fans. Like I said, winning customers is actually very, very, very good. But the real business growth, how you know your business is growing and there is growth in that business, is when you are keeping customers, knowing how to retain them, keep them, and eventually turn them to loyal fans, because it is a loyal customer and a loyal fan that is going to keep on reconnecting you and referring you to people. But a client that you only just want to collect their money and then you leave them, they eventually go. Your service is good or not, they go. And then they might not refer anybody to you. But the growth of a business is when you are getting referrals and you keep on connecting with people. So like I said, winning is just one thing. But the real growth in business is when you are able to keep your customers, and also turn them to real-time customers. How do you do that? How do you retain customers in a simple way? Create memorable customers experience. Right from the time when they are chatting you up, right from the way you converse with them, you have conversation with them, you're already creating a memorable experience with them. When they share their product with you and the service they want to sell, use that medium to also sell your product the right way. Don't just be in a hurry to give a solution. Understand the particular issue that is bringing that person to your DM to come and get that product. Don't just because you have a product you are selling on promo or you are selling on discount. Even promo and discount is one word I always don't like to use. All right, but that is not the essence of the meeting this evening. Follow up with them. That's another way to keep a customer. Follow up with your customers even after every sale. A customer who purchased something worth of 10,000 naira from you today can eventually purchase something worth of 1 million naira from you later. And the reason why you are earning that amount of money later is because you have followed up on that customer. I shared that analogy with somebody some weeks ago. There's this client I've always been following up. She reached out to me for a website development job, and I knew she was ready. She had the money, but she didn't pay. So I always give it like 1 week, 2 weeks before reaching out again. So once I reach out, I just tell her this is just a reminder of our previous conversations. And eventually, after 3 months of following up, I just messaged her that day and told her, hello, ma, this is still a reminder of our former conversations. And the next thing she did was to forward that money. She just forwarded the complete money of the job and told me to get started. So imagine if I had stopped following up on such a client, though she's a customer already. Because before then she had even purchased one or two. But I understood the essence of following up on a customers. And that was what made that deal eventually got well. All right, thank you. So another thing is give bonuses, loyalty offers, or just say thank you. When I say give bonuses, I'm not saying come and start posting 20% discount for the first 5 people, 10% discount. In fact, that one's another topic on its own. All right, but give bonuses. Let the client know, okay, you've been a loyal customer to us. You've been referring people. This product you are coming to get from me was 90,000 naira. But because of how loyal you have been to me, I am going to be giving you a 3%, 4%, 6% discussion. Reduction. And that makes it very, very, very easy for you to sell that product. All right. Give bonuses, loyalty offers, or just say thank you. That thank you goes a long way. There are some clients that do refer the company, and once they mention the name of the person that refer them, even if the deal is not yet closed, you have not made money from the person they referred, I am already in the DM of the person who referred them saying thank you. All right. Then the last point is build a brand your audience can connect to emotionally. And this is what some content writer, copywriters does for, does do to you online. I just feel like, it's looking as if you're already inside that content. That is because they've known how to package their words to make you connect to that product they want to sell to you emotionally. I know when emotions is involved, it becomes easier for you to, bring out money from your pocket, actually. So copywriters and content writers have understood that. And now there are a lot of AI that can help you in coming up with beautiful content. And all you need to do is to get prompts, get words that you can use to make them write out some words, some content for you before you now start posting. Let's make an example again. A hairstylist who follows up with reminders, birthday greetings, and give a free retouch. Like just let's do a free retouch for loyal clients, we always be remembered. So after you have done, you've done some services for a client, you've done a service to a client, and then you keep on following with the client with reminders about what they purchased, birthday greetings, you give a free retouch. Now you are telling them, don't worry, whenever you are free, just because we've made your year for you, we can easily, retouch the year anytime you pass through our area or something like that. You know, it gives you loyal clients, and they will always remember you. They always remember you for that. You see that that part of follow up actually does a lot. Let me see if we can still go out. If we can still go for one more point before we bring in the guest. Yes, we can still bring up the guest. Okay, let's look at standing out from competitors. This is actually another important part that we should look into. Standing out from competitors. Your competitors might sell the same product. Yeah, your competitors might sell the same product, but they don't have your story, they don't have your personality, and they don't have your process. Yes, you and 10 or 50 other persons might be selling the same product, but they don't have your story behind the product you are selling. They don't have the personality, they don't have your personality, all right, and also your process. Ask yourself, what is your brand's promise? That's another thing as a tech entrepreneur, a business owner, a founder. Ask yourself, what is your brand promise? After they've gotten this, if they want to get this product from me, what am I promising them? And I always say it is better to under promise than over promising when you are because you want to sell a product. All right. So what are you promising your company? I mean, the people wants to buy that particular product. What are your brand? What is the promise of your brand? All right. What are you promising them based on them coming to come and get a particular product? You need to define that. You need to know what can you do to make your customer remember your company. What can you continually do to make your customers or your those that were referred to you or your clients, what can you do to make them keep remembering you? And also, what makes your experience with your own product, what makes it different with any other product? What makes that particular thing you are selling with 50 other persons? What makes it different? What makes your own the way you have package your own product? What makes it different from what 50 other plus persons are selling? And this is the way to help you. Use storytelling and behind the scenes to connect with people emotionally. That is the best way to connect with your clients. Use storytelling. Try telling a story. Let them be lost in that thought. Let them be lost in that story. And then you can use your behind the scenes content. How you did this, how you package this, how you did this. And automatically they are going to connect with you. Be real when making a post. Somebody always asks us then, one of the companies we worked for, they're like, how can they have products? How can they write caption? They always see product online with so long captions and everything. Just told the person, be real, be human. Just write about this product. Once you're able to get the first line right, the other line is going to follow. And like I said, we have lots of AI now. Just give them what your product does, give them the feel you want people to have. It's automatically going to give you some words. And you know how to now post it, change some words because I don't know the story eventually. So the AI cannot get your story. Just let it give you an idea, and then you start, implementing, removing one or two to make it fit into what you want. But don't forget the fact that make use of storytelling while selling your product. Make use of storytelling. It sells most of the time. All right. Use behind the scene. Connect with people. Be real and be human. We still have 6 more points. I have 6 more points to discuss with us, but because of our time, we need to bring on our guest speaker now. And remember, he was with us in the last webinar. He was with us in the last webinar. And because of this is a continuation of the last webinar. And that is why he's coming up again to come and shed more light to what he said the previous time. And also, there were a lot of questions after that webinar that we could not attend to during that webinar. So he's also going to be here to also attend to those questions. So he might attend to those questions during his session, all right? And after his session, if he's still not able to cover it, we are going to throw those questions at him. All right, so Mr. Kelechi Ibe is with us again this evening, and he is the creative director of Toda Consults, another fast rising, company. Yes, that is the man on the screen right now. He's a young, innovative entrepreneur and a committed Christian. With strong creative thinking skills, he serves as the lead consultant at Toda Consult Limited, offering business registrations, trademark processing, branding, and strategic advisory services. He's a graduate of accounting and currently pursuing an MSc, which he's almost done, in business administration. All right, so he's going to be the next person to speak with us for some minutes now. And please kindly prepare your questions, any question you have during this webinar, and ensure to start dropping them in the comment section. Please don't forget, if you're just joining us, drop your name and wherever you are watching from. Thank you, sir. Please, you can take over.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Daniel. Thank you for this opportunity once again. I hope you can hear me. Can you just comment? Can I see comments on the
Yes, sir,
comment
we can.
section? All right. Thank you so much. So it's going to be an inspiring session again, and I want us to listen to do. Thank you so much. Thank you. I listened to you while I came in, and you made mention of something I would want to start with: value proposition. Every business should have that. Like we all know, my name, I'm Kelechi Ibe, and Mr. Daniel already introduced me. So there is somebody is saying, Welcome, Mr. Kelani." I think I'll make that one of my brand name. Mr. Kelani, you're welcome, sir. It's Kelechi by name. All right. So you made mention of value proposition. Value proposition um, is in a layman term, it's what you are proposing to the audience that your brand will will give out. For example, MTN will tell you everywhere you go. It's something that makes your brand stands out. So, and we have a very interesting topic before us. Many people have business ideas, but they don't know how to, stand out in a competitive market. You agree with me that you are not the only one selling what you are selling. Uh, in a place where I stay, you see a complex where they are selling noodles, they are selling groceries. The next shop is selling the same thing. The other shop is selling the same thing. So what makes one sell? Because the goal of an entrepreneur, in as much as you want to provide value, is also to earn money. You are bringing a cure to the pain of the people for economic value. And so how can we win customers? How can we win customers? We have customers that they'll, no matter the price you tell them, they will ask you how much last. So how can we win customers? And we look at it from the angle of branding and business registration. So I don't know, I know rather that many of us would have wondered how why some business thrive while others struggle. You started that business probably because you've seen another person succeeding in that business, and you're like, oh, this is what is paying, so let me go into that. And all of a sudden you are stocked up because sales are not coming in. And even when you sell the same product, you are selling the same thing, you are doing the same thing. But let me say that in today's competitive market, customers don't just buy products. Customers don't just buy product, they buy trust, they buy perception, they buy identity. And that's where branding comes in. Um, Branding comes in the place of not just selling a product. You know, for example, we know a popular earpiece, and we know one. There are times when you even want to recommend products, and you don't recommend the product, you recommend the name of that business. Some people just want to patronize a company brand, not because there are no other brands or there are no other companies that are producing that, but because they've learned how to trust, they have a good, a healthy perception about that business, their identity. So it's not just about quality, it's not just about price. I know Mr. Daniel was talking about discounting, pricing, and all of those things. Sometimes it's not just about the urgent 20,000 you want to get from the business. It's not just about pricing. It's about the perception. It's about the structure. Let people see your business as a human being. Let them not, let them not just see business as something that wants to take money from them. Rather, let them see it as somebody that has that empathy. Yeah. So you try to relate with them. Let the business have a structure, build trust, build perception. And that's where branding comes in. That's where branding comes in. That's where branding comes in. So if you know anybody that was part of this webinar the last time and is not here, please just go and knock on the door of that person. There are a lot of things that we need to really know to survive in this sector. So it's not just about the price, like I said, it's about perception. And people pay more for Apple, people pay more for Nike, people pay more for Coca-Cola because of what the brand represents. So the customers are silently asking, can I trust this business? Does it look professional? Are they real? You are bringing a juicy offer to them and they're like, is this thing real? They want to make research. They want to check your social media handles and they are seeing the branding. They're like, this person does not look professional because branding entails what people know about your business. The last time we had the webinar, Mr. Daniel said, it is not what you say about your business, it's what people say about your business. So, do you have a color? Do you have a text? Do you have, what are those things that makes your business stand out? So people are asking, is this business real? And let me tell you, one of the first things an investor checks before investing any dime into a business, the first thing he wants to know is this business registered? Let me tell you, you are just doing a side hustle if your business is not registered. I'm sorry about that. But that's just the truth. And that's what this webinar seeks to empower us with. Register your business, brand your business. It makes your business stand out. It makes it look more professional. It makes it appear real. Though, yeah, it's real. It shows the public that this person is serious with his or her own business. So, is your business trustworthy? This is what branding and registering does. So, the first impression matters. First impression matters. When I see your logo and I see the banner behind and I see the next flyer, are the colors consistent? This is how to win in a market that where you have a lot of people selling the same thing you are selling. You are not the only one. Just know it. You are not the only one. If you go on Instagram, you see a lot of people selling the same thing you are selling. But how do you stand out? And we are bringing to you branding and business registration. That is the foundation for any business that will strive. One of the other things organizations seek to get is to have that competitive advantage. A business is not registered. A business not registered is a also is a business registered that is called a brand. So sorry, CEO of whatsoever. If your business is not registered, you are probably not a CEO. You're an hustler, probably hawking and building another person's brand. Because many times when they come and they want to register you, people cry. People we've had uh, uh, scenarios where people pray and they say they need their business to be. That is my name. That is my name. So before you even start anything significant, before you do anything, register your business. Register the business. You are not doing anybody good by building the person's brand for himself. For the you are building another person's brand. So register your business. So these are the things that I feel makes the business stand out um, in a competitive market. And I want to say that the first step you should take is have an identity. Have an identity. Identify your niche. You should not sell everything. Hello, Dangote is not known for everything, even though he sells almost everything. He's known for cement because that was what he used to penetrate the market. So you want to sell weed, only you want to sell clipper, only you want to sell what else? Can I see? Can I get comment? You want to sell books, you want to do frame at the same time. You are hustling. Yeah, you're hustling. So what you should seek out is a niche. Identify a niche. When we see you, what do we see? If I have anybody that I want to recommend for a service, do I begin to think? So when you hear Dangote, you hear cement. When you hear different companies, you hear, okay, this is what this company. Yeah, Cynthia from South Africa. Thank you. You can see you. And I can also see the comments. I had the word what people feel. Yeah, that's very true. So identify a niche. Identify a niche. Develop a unique value proposition. Like I said earlier, what sets you apart? What makes you stand out? Look out for your competitors' flaws and make it a strength. Look out for your competitors' flaws and make it a strength. That's one of the things that makes you stand out. So, like I said, uh, 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 one of the things we want to know is it's not just about the quality, it's not just about the price, it's about perception, like I said. And I will also say that your brand is not your logo, it is how people feel about your business. Your brand is not your logo. It's about how people feel about your business. A business that is not registered, so you need a legal recognition. Sorry, I diverted a little bit. You need a legal recognition. Registering your business builds credibility. It builds trust. It gives you access to contracts. Yeah, everybody wants free money, right? It gives you access to grants. I mean, they're giving you 5 million, 50 million because your papers are complete. Investors love it when entrepreneurs know how to complete their document. They have that legal compliance. It protects their name and their identity. You are building a logo. One of the things I tell people, you come to me, you want to build a logo, you want to do this. Those things are wonderful, but you need to register that business. Register that business. So, like I always tell people, registering your business or the CAC certificate is like the birth certificate of a human. The birth certificate of your business is your CAC certificate. You gain legitimacy. You can open a business account. You are not sending see, one of the things, yeah, it also makes you stand out. It also makes you win customers. When you build that trust, you are sending an account detail that carries the name of your company. How can you get that done? When your business is registered, you are sending a proposal. Somebody is asking you, this is what we need. This is what we need to make our business. Okay, this is asking you to send the price list, but you are giving a letter-headed proposal. You branded it and you are sending it with a signature from you as a director or the procurement officer or whatsoever. You are giving it out. It makes that business stand out. In short, it makes the client adjust and say, yes, I'm dealing with a business owner. So it when you register your business, let me tell you, statistics have shown that when people register their business, they begin to take the business serious. You are not taking your business serious. That is just there's really nothing you want to tell me. If you have a business and it's not registered, and you are telling me you are taking that business serious, do you know what you are doing? You are building another person's brand. You are taking care of another person's idea. So registering your business builds credibility, builds trust. It gives you access to contracts. Angel investors comes, they want to register your business, they want to partner with you. It protects your name. It protects your name. Aside registering your business with CSC, we also have trademark. We also have SCOMO. We also have copyrights, patents. Those are things that you use to secure your ideas, you secure your brand name, you are taking care of it, you are taking ownership of it. Do we follow what I'm saying? So branding gives perception, registering your business gives structure. So there's a formula I have here that I want to share with you. There's a formula I have that I want to share with you, and the formula is branding plus registration equals market edge. What did I say? I said branding plus registration equals market edge. Can someone type that on the comment section? Yeah, branding plus registration equals or equal to market edge. How do you gain that competitive advantage over your competitors? Register your business and do a proper branding. Do a proper branding. Like I said, branding entails perception. Clients, especially corporate ones, trust registered companies more. I would rather invest in a company that is registered than a company that is not registered. It's just the truth. So branding plus, thank you. Thank you. I'm finding it difficult to pronounce this, but Africana, that's the best word I can see. Branding plus registration equals market edge. When you register your business, you give your business or give your brand a legal backbone. What did I say? When you register your business, you give your brand a legal backbone. You are no longer guessing, you are building. Yeah. When your business is registered, you are no longer guessing, you are now building. Those whose business are not registered are still guessing. They are saying, will this thing work? Will it not work? The business is not branded, it's not registered. You are guessing. You are playing on online. You are playing online. So we take you serious. We take you as a business owner, not when you have a logo, no, not when you have the skill, no. We take you as a business owner when your business is registered and is branded. It has an identity in the market. So, for example, you have a son and you want to describe that son. He's fair, tall. That is his brand. He speaks this way. He's always on corporate wears. That is his brand. So, if we are to define your business, what are we going to say? Ah, think about it. What are we going to say? Are we going to, you know, describe? When you hear yellow and you hear a network provider, everybody thinks of MTN. Everybody, except those that are not using, that stay small, that don't know what service providers entails. So design your brand identity, register your business with CAC, with SCOMA, with trademark, build your online presence. Everything is online. Everything. Everything. Stop struggling with people in your streets. There are people far, far above, far, 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 far beyond your location that needs your service. Stop really limiting yourself. So build an online presence. Build an online presence. Stay consistent in service and messaging. Educate and engage your audience. Mr. Daniel said that many a times people just want to get money from you. Let me tell you, one of the things you should do is to educate people. Organize webinars like this. Educate people. This is why they need to dress. Like Mr. Daniel was saying, talking about fashion. This is why they need, you know, to 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 just educate them on the product or the service you are rendering. Let them know the importance of it. Let them know the danger of not having it. Let them know how well to style, for example, fashion now. Let them know how well to style a shirt with a skirt and the colors to combine. They see that place as, this is where we get value. Yeah, an entrepreneur is value driven, not just money driven. Everything we see on your page is buy this, buy that, promo, discount, Salah sales, end of the month sales, distress sales. Everything is about money, money, money. There's no educative post. That's not good for a brand owner. So educate and engage your audience. Another thing I said two things. I've said two things now that stood out here. The first thing I said is when your business is registered, your brand is a legal backbone. When you register your business, you give your brand rather, when you register your business, you give your brand a legal backbone. You are no longer guessing, you are now building. The second thing I said is branding plus registration equal to market edge. And guess what? I'm about to drop something else. Yeah. If you are ready, can you just comment? Can you comment? I'm about to drop something else. And it's a takeaway before I entertain questions. I just want to make it brief. So let me get comments. 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 Yeah. So uh, okay, am I getting all right? So let's just move on. The market, yeah, build your online presence. Thank you. I can see that comment. All right. So the market is crowded, but trust is the currency. What did I say? The market is crowded, but trust is the currency. I earlier started this session by saying a lot of people are selling, a lot of people are providing the same service you are rendering. But trust is the currency. And how do you build trust? Brand. How do you build trust? Register. Save that business. Build legal compliance for that business. Build online presence that is consistent with your brand value, with your niche. Identify the niche. Develop your value proposition and make your business trustworthy. Not just about the price, not just about rebranding the product. No, it's not about that. It's not about that. People want to patronize LG, they want to patronize HP, they want to patronize a lot of brands, not because of the price, not because of the product, but because of the trust and the perceptions that they have. So branding attracts attention. Business registration seals the trust. So together, they help you keep your customers. They help you win and keep your customers. I'll repeat this last bomb that I'm about to drop. This last one, yeah. The market is crowded. Yeah, the market is crowded, but trust is the currency. Branding attracts attention, while business registration seals the trust. So together, this thing, this the both of them help you win and keep your customers. And guess what? The last bomb I'm about to drop, last I'm about to drop. I trust we've had an amazing time in just few minutes. We've had an amazing time. So don't just be another vendor. Be a brand. Be a voice. Be a voice in that field, in that niche. Don't just be another vendor. Don't just be that vendor that everybody just talks about. Not really like they even talk about. Build that brand. Be a voice. Be a business. Don't just be an hustler. Be a business. Avoid guessing. And yeah, if you want to grow beyond selling to friends and family, then you must brand smart and register legally. If you want to if you want to grow beyond, many times, many people just, their aunties patronize them. And patronize them, some of them won't sell on credit. Yeah, their aunties, their friends. It's a good place to start from, but you would be doing yourself harm by selling to family and friends or relying on family and friends. Why? Because you can't build a business from there. Don't be an hustler. Be a business. Oh, it choked you, right? All right, I'm having a nice time here. So, if you want to grow beyond your family and friends, then you must brand and register legally. Be a brand and be a business. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this amazing. I had a very nice time. Yeah. So thank you so much. And please put to practice all that we have learned. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. Over to you, sir. Uh,
Wow.
Thank you so much.
It's been a yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Ibe Keleshi.
Thank you, sir.
That was a very nice session. There is no business that can grow without understanding that trust factor. Yeah, I realized
Exactly.
that late, and when I got that, there's always going to be a turnaround once you're able to build your business on the level of trust. Yes, that cannot be underestimated. Thank you so much, sir, and I'm very sure every one of us here should, if you have not registered your business yet, after this webinar, I'm sure even now it's something you must be ready to do. Don't be an hustler, be a brand. Somebody noted that in the comment section. An hustler and a brand, and somebody running a brand, they are not the same thing. The way they reason, the way they understand things would always be different. An hustler think, a business owner thinks. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So we have some questions that he was not able to touch during his session. So
All
we
right, sir.
are going to be doing your session, sir. So we are quickly going to just answer one or two, and if we can have it as an example, those questions can be answered as using an example of an existing business or just a way to make people understand better. What are the biggest branding mistakes? My IT team, please kindly help display those questions. What are the biggest branding mistakes that drives customers away, and how can we avoid them? Let me come again. What are the biggest branding mistakes? Please, the question on the screen is different. What are the biggest branding mistakes that drives customers away, and how can we avoid them, Mr. Keleshi?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So, what are the biggest branding mistakes that drive customers away? For me, I'll talk personally for me. Bad designs. Bad designs. You see some designs, you see some people. Okay, yes, the first one is bad designs. I really want to talk about that. Bad designs. Sometimes I scroll through the internet and I see some designs. I'm like, how did you how did we come about this design? So please invest in good designs. These are branding mistakes that people sometimes the logos are not even consistent. You see the F in one is different from the F in another design. Inconsistency. And another thing is copying others. Some people just get another person's content and everything and put it in their own page the same way, copying others. Okay, you said I should give an example. I was scrolling through the internet one day. I saw what's the name? I saw a post and I saw this brand over promising. Like he was promising. Then he said he was going to deliver a particular service within a period. And in the comment section, I saw comments of people, not one, not two, saying that the brand is under delivering. They promise you and they don't deliver. That's a mistake. It's a branding mistake. So I have highlighted three things: inconsistency. One, the first one I said is bad designs. The second is inconsistency. The third is copying others. You copy another person's brand idea and put it in your own. No, copy is fine. Look at it, get inspiration, but build on it. Make sure it is strong. And let me say to you, I forgot to say this while I was talking. 95% of my clients, Mr. Daniel, I don't know them. I've not met them physically. All of them are online. Why? Because I chose to brand correctly. I discovered my niche and I chose to brand correctly. So I invest in designs. Do not give room for copying and over promising. Yeah. So I think that solves that, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, that's he's answered perfectly, just like what was on my mind. Yeah, so that's yeah. So there's another important question which we didn't touch. As a startup with limited funds, so as not to leave people confused, which should come first, branding, marketing, or operations, and how do I balance them? How do I balance them as a startup with limited funds? Which should come first? Branding, just like we said, branding, marketing, or operations. Mr. Keleshi. Okay, I think his network is currently inactive with us. All right, so let me just go over the question again. As a startup with limited funds, which should come first? Branding, marketing, or operations? So if you are just starting up your company, it is essential that your branding comes first. You can't market a brand that people do not really understand what the business is fully all about. And branding covers you registering your business, you creating a brand identity, you creating a story behind your brand that people can feel your brand. Whenever you are posting, they already understood or understand what you are trying to say. So branding will always come first. It is when you are fully branded as a business, your documents are intact, your the way people feel about you is already there. People already know what they can say when they hear your brand name. If they mention Airlight Global Limited, they already know what this company is all about. That is when you can now start thinking of marketing so that you don't start running an advert, you start marketing your brand, and then when they come into your page, there are errors. And when they come into your DMs, there are errors that is happening on the way. So I will always recommend you branding up your business. You don't need to brand up so big. You need to brand up so big before you now start selling that brand. Yes, Mr. Killis has been able to break down what branding really, really, really entails to us. So don't wait till you have big money like Dangote. So now, so you want to really brand up your business. No, start with that little thing. Start with that little thing. Start with that little thing. #100, #500 designs. That is, somebody said bad design, top notch. Yeah, exactly. Oh. You need to be, you need to be a businessman. Bad design, top notch. I will never move close to such a business. It pisses me off from afar. Yes, honestly, as a business owner, you need to be very, very, very far from bad designs. It limits you. It limits you. People would feel you don't even know what you are doing. So please, as a business owner, take your branding very, 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 very serious. And so I think Mr. Kelechi has joined us again. I don't know. Are you audible? So let's confirm if it's audible so they can also shed light on that answer.
Yes, sir. All right. As a startup with limited funds, or operation, and how do I balance them? I would that you start with branding. Start with branding. Know who you are and who you are serving. So branding starts first because there's no how you can't approach the market without an identity. So branding starts first. Then secondly, you can build a lean operation, simple systems to deliver your products and make it reliable. Then your marketing follows. You begin promoting only the ones you can deliver when you promise. You don't deliver more than you don't promise to deliver when you don't have the ability to, because many people are so hungry. They they want to uh, they want to do like the big guys out there. But remember, you are a startup, and startup is limited in funds, is limited in human resource, is limited in financial resource, is limited in a lot of things, equipment. So branding comes first. Then you can start up with a lean operation. What I mean, build a lean operation like simple systems. For example, let's say you are running a food business. You have just this one bike man that helps you that can deliver. You just okay, go deliver, come back. Or use child deck or use any of those delivery distance. But something that when many a times you should not even start employing. Start by yourself. Start doing something as a startup. You have limited funds. Don't overhaul your incomes. Do you understand? So branding comes first, I will say, and I will say it emphatically. Branding comes first. Identify your audience. Build a presence. Let people know that this is somebody that is penetrating the market. Then you build in lean operations and you start marketing. And what I mean by marketing, I mean, promoting the things or only the ones that you can deliver when you promise, the things you can deliver at ease. It's not like you start promising and failing. It's a bad way to start your business. When you promise people and you don't meet the deadlines, no, it's a bad way to start your business. Be open enough to admit that, yeah, I'm starting up and you are building. Yeah, because you've registered the business and you have a brand. So I think that answers it, sir. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for the answers. And I'm very sure all questions have been answered. So if you still have any questions, please do well to drop it in the comment section. So we'll see if we can attend to that before the end of the webinar this evening. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Akileshi Ibe. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for
Thank you so
sharing
much,
those
sir.
powerful insights. Yes, we do not take it for granted. And I can assure you that I have an audience that is willing to adopt and implement everything that you have said. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir. All right. So
All
before
right, sir.
we call the webinar, off, there is a particular segment that we really need to look into in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And he has spoken about the business registration part. So we are still going to be talking about branding and trust. And that was going to be the last segment. So if you have your questions, please drop them in the comment section on Facebook, on YouTube. Presently, we are streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So please drop your question. And also, some of us have been have been dropping comments. We are not dropping our names and our location. Please kindly drop this, as this is going to help us to know where we are doing well the most. Please, thank you. Let's do that as I proceed. One big thing that helps business, and one big thing that helps win is when trust is structured. Yeah, let me put it that way. One big thing that helps win trust is structure. Once there is structure in your business, it becomes more easier for you to win people's trust. Yes. If you are not registered, if you don't have a clear brand proposition, customers will always assume you are not serious. Right. So if you're not registered, your business is not registered, you don't have a clear brand. People can't say this is what you are into when they see information about your company or your brand. Customers will always assume you are not serious. And there are few and simple ways to build trust. Register that business. Mr. Ibekeleshi has enlightened us on every reason why you need to register your business. Have a social media presence. I always tell people, if you keep on selling your products offline, you are just making the 0.0001% of the money you can make online, of the customers you can see online. Bring your business online. Have a social media presence. A lot of times when some client just comes into, to DM, ask about some simple questions, some issues, what they just need is send me your Facebook link. Let me share your profile online. And once they check, they're automatically very, very okay with what they are seeing. So there's a way you would have built your page, you've built your profile that will make you different from somebody that wants to just scam them. It depends on how you have portrayed your company, how you have displayed all those professional flyers that Mr. Ibe was talking about. So have a social media presence, invest in your logo, invest in your brand's logo, your company's logo, your messaging tone, the way you message people. You can't be a business owner, a message has been sent to you for over 1 hour, over 2 hours, and the next time you're opening your WhatsApp or your messaging platform is at night or in the evening to respond to a client. A client who needs your service would not want to wait that far unless they have no other option. But you are on the losing end if you have to keep those messages, late before you answer them. All right. So invest in your logo, invest in your messaging, and also invest in your colors. Don't assume that your best color is pink. So because you want to launch a brand, the next color coming to your mind to launch that brand is pink color. You might need to make research on colors. There are some colors that does not work for some particular kind of business. There are some particular colors. Colors has a tone. Color has words. They have words they answer to. So yeah, their colors have meanings. Colors have meanings. So you need to be sure of the color you are using. Right. So there's always a time. So if you have been doing business and you don't really know about all of these things, it's time for you to brand up that business. It's time for you to brand up that business. All right. And you can always reach out to us for that. Invest in your logo, messaging, and colors. These are few things. Invest in professional tones. Invest in professional tones. Have a communication tone, have a way you speak to people. And don't forget, some of your take away from this webinar this evening should be, what is one reason you think people don't buy from you yet? You need to discover one reason you think people don't buy from you. Is it that you lack branding in your company? Is it that your marketing game is not up? Is it that your business is not registered? People don't trust you. You need to discover that reason why you think people do not want to buy from you yet. All right. Have you ever had a client returning for more work? That's another thing you need to look into with everything you've heard in this webinar. Have you ever had a client that returned, that came back again for another work? What made that happen? You need to understand this fact as a business owner. You've worked for a company, you've worked for somebody, and after a long run, the person came back again. You need to discover what made that person come back. And if a client or customer has not been coming back, you've been doing business, once they buy from you, they go. You need to now do a research on why a customer or a business has not been coming back to you. You also need to discover what platform gives you the most customers right now. Yes, I'm breaking everything we've discussed in this webinar very, very simple for us. What platform gives you the most customers? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it TikTok? Is it LinkedIn? All right. You need to, one of the things you must look into as the takeaway in this webinar. Yeah. All right. So let me see if I still have that point I still want to share with us. All right. The thing is, we have covered a lot tonight. We've covered a lot from tonight, from standing out to building loyalty to structuring your business. But none of this works unless you take action. Just like we have covered a lot of things, the comments and everything, none of this is going to work until you take action in all of these things. Clarify your brand message. Let people know what your brand stands for when they see your posts, when they see your brand designs, when they see your page, when they see your bio. Let them know what you are trying to pass. Clarify your brand message. Improve your customers' experience. Register and structure your business. Start engaging customers like humans, not just buyers. Because a customer is not telling you how much is this, but they commented on that post. Engage with those customers. They eventually turn to loyal fans. You can turn them to clients. You can eventually turn them to customers. If you have found value in today's session, imagine what you could achieve more if you follow us on our pages. If you could get this much value in a free webinar, imagine what you are going to keep on getting if you follow us on our social media handles. You can follow us on Facebook at DanBaba Global Limited. Can we have that displayed on the screen? You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on TikTok. You can follow us on LinkedIn. We are available in all these social media spaces as we share value. We share values on all these platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just ensure you search for DanBaba Global Limited, and subscribe, follow, and you will always see a reason for doing that because we are always posting values on all these platforms. Yes, it has been a beautiful webinar, and once again, we've done well. This is over an hour, and it's time to bring the webinar to a close. We want to say thank you so much to our online audience. This is the second time we are doing this webinar in 2 months. As you've told us, this is a monthly webinar. Another one is going to be coming up next month. We have a wait list. We have a group where we bring in people just to have it as a wait list for the next webinar. Right. So the group is always available. If you need the link, just drop a message in the comment section or follow us on our pages. Drop a comment wherever in any post you see, and be available to also interact with you as human and not just buyers. Yes. So please, thank you so much to our online audience on Facebook. We've been seeing all the comments on Facebook. We are seeing all the comments on Instagram, YouTube. It's been thank you, Cynthia from South Africa. We acknowledge your presence. Thank you so much, and also a very big thank you to our guest, Mr. Ibe Kelechi Emmanuel. We really appreciate your coming. Thanks for coming to the webinar. Also, everybody is also welcome. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. See you again next month for another full package webinar. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your night.